Brad, your boys never gave up, and it must be a pretty dark night for you and them tonight. Very simply, can you say where you thought that game was won and lost?
I think there's a lot of reasons for it. It never boils down to one reason, but probably the biggest factor for us and from our point of view is just failure to adapt to conditions we don't play in very often. And early on the first quarter, we probably played legitimate footy, so getting the ball forward, scoring in pretty conventional ways, but most importantly, the fundamental of the game, being able to win the ball. And after that, we consistently just got outnumbered around the footy and didn't adapt to the conditions at all, and really struggled with them, to be honest. So, we've got some work to do, when we play in those conditions.
At times it looked a bit like footy circa 2010, where the Suns had it locked into their half of the ground, their 50 metres.
Yeah.
A long period.
Yep.
What was going on there? Just couldn't get it out.
Yeah, no, well, you're right. We couldn't get it out. We had they're building some sort of midfield to Gold Coast. I think, they've got a lot of dangerous players, and, we were outworked. I mean, they did a good job on Andrew Swallow. Jack Zeeble not being there. Ben Cunnington tried to fill the breach to an extent, but I mean, the problem, you can't get the ball out if you can't get the ball. And that was half our problem. I thought in the second quarter, as bad as it sounds, we did well to keep them to 5 goals because we just couldn't get the footy. So it's in those conditions that once you can get the ball forward and set up, it makes it pretty difficult for the opposition to get it out, and we just couldn't get it forward often enough.
Do you fear it's becoming a mental thing, this whole sort of lead first quarter, but then not go on with it from there?
No.
Are you worried about that?
No, not in the slightest. I mean, that's today. I mean, we started well. There's no capitulation, just the inability to do the fundamentals really well. So, that's others can talk about it if they want, but I'm not. That's not an issue as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we've got fundamental things that that we can do really well, but the conditions were the main thing that really we didn't adapt to, and that's our responsibility, and we have to fix that.
You're halfway through the season now, Brad. Where do you think that leaves you? Obviously, a couple of games out of the 8, you're still harbouring thoughts that you can jump up there.
Not an issue for me. I mean, it's not an issue for me. I mean, that's so far into the future, and we've got to start, playing footy that's worthy of that. So I'll leave that for the Gold Coast Bulletin and talk about with the Suns.
Not intended to be a reprise of the earlier question, but I think you had a 31-point lead early in that second quarter. What do you think changed after that? Did your boys change the way they were going about it?
No, we just got outnumbered. We just got outnumbered around the contest. We just got beaten around the ball. I mean, contested possession, we're down 30, and that's usually a really good part of our game. I mean, we contested possession. I think we're before this game top 4 in the competition, and we got beaten by young and up and coming, or not young because Ablett and Harborough and Rischitelli and Stanley have been around for a long time, but they just beat us around the ball, outnumbered us, outworked us, and when you can't get the ball, you can't move it forward, and they just dominated the inside 50s and set up well to keep it in there, and we couldn't work it out.
You said you were lucky to be within 5 goals at that point. Did it actually look like the dynamic of the game was running against you even as you built a bit of a lead?
No. Well, I didn't say that. I said in the second quarter we're lucky to keep it to 5 goals. In the first part of the game, we dominated the game and we're able to play pretty conventional footy, but the rain just kept tumbling down and we got beaten around the ball. I mean, it's pretty simple, really. I mean, if you can win enough of the ball and you can get it in those conditions, a lot of it's about territory. So if you can get it forward and set up well, you can make it very difficult for the opposition. We did that in the first quarter. I mean, they kicked a point, in the first quarter. So we were able to win the battle of territory early, and then for the rest of the 3 quarters, to be honest, they were able to. And that starts and ends really with the ability to win the ball in the contest. And we were consistently outworked and outnumbered.
You played all the top teams, and you probably had your fair share of ascendancy in a lot of those games, but you weren't able to get that tonight. Where does Gold Coast's performance and midfield particularly sort of stand up in your eyes against everyone else that you play? play?
Oh, I think their midfield's very good. I mean, they've got the best player in the competition for a start. Dion Presti is, emerging. I think, when you play, they started David Swallow on Lindsay Thomas. So, I mean, he's a number 1 draft pick inside midfielder. So that's pretty handy luxury. But look, I think they're showing now what everyone's known for a long time. I mean, we're bitterly disappointed with our performance, but we knew we were going to be in for a really tough game. As I said, we weren't able to handle the conditions. They handled it really well. They're used to playing in dewy conditions, and their development, has been, very, very good. But I think this is, well, personally, I can't speak for everyone else, but personally, they're playing now as I expected them to 12 months ago. So, they're going to be a very good side, and right now they're showing around the contest they are a very good side.
Is it something that's perhaps a little bit understated in terms of the fact that you play a lot of your footy under a roof? When you do come and play in conditions where it's wet and stuff, that a lot of the guys in your team haven't experienced that a heck of a lot? Do you think that the guys know how to play with the football?
Yeah, we train in it. We don't have a roof at Arden Street, so we do train in it. I mean, yeah, but I mean, the ball's wet. You know how we had a structure that worked for us in the first quarter. It's adapting to the conditions and the pressure of the game that's the key. And we didn't do that. We don't play every game under the roof. We play a lot of games away in the state, and we've got to fix that because we don't want to just be a side that can use the ball really well in perfect conditions. Okay, thanks.